Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back again with an update video here for you on my ice barrier deck. Another deck profile, just a little bit of an update. I made a little bit of a couple of tweaks here and there on this build. Um, I'll just say it outright, I did take out the Dragoon package. It's one of those things where sometimes it kind of can be a little bit inconsistent. At least for me. I mean, I thought I would like the package, but not really, not too much. But we're just gonna hop right into it. We're not gonna rant and rave too much. But yeah, we're gonna hop right in. Pretty much for the most part, most of this is just gonna be standard, and then there are a couple of things I did add in as well. So we'll hop right into it. Of course, it's going to be the 3 revealer. Pretty much standard for the most part. 3 revealer. Nothing really out of the ordinary with that. 3. I was considering maybe dimming it down to 2. But 3 is still okay. It doesn't really burn too much. But there are a lot of cards in here where it doesn't really, I really don't need to use my normal summon. And I can still establish war without using normal summon, which is actually pretty cool. But it's always nice to have this as a backup in case, I draw kind of like a deadish hand, and maybe if I draw her along with it, I'll, of course, use my normal summon, and then get my combos off from there. But yeah, she's pretty much standard. You don't know what she does. Not really going to go into it because I went into my last video. If you want to know what she does, just go watch the other video. Yet again, standard. 3 speaker. Not much has changed with that. It's great for free body on the field. She summons herself for free as long as you control another ice barrier. And then you can banish her out of play for another token. Ice barrier token. Card I did cut out completely from the deck from my last video, but I added back in. 2 Hexia. 2 is more than enough. 3 you can actually brick with this. So yeah, 2 is pretty much standard. Send your mage, or send a level 3 ice barrier for the deck, so you can become level 4. So you go into your Bahamut Shark plays. Next up, yet again, standard 3 mage. Not going to be doing this down to 2 or lower anytime soon, unless they hit it on the ban list for some reason. But she is actually pretty cracked. She's sent to the graveyard. You can just add any ice barrier card from your deck to your hand, any card. And when she's on the field, you distribute another effect monster. It does not have to be an ice barrier. Any effect monster, and then you summon 3 tokens, all for her, and she gains 1 star for each token. Helps you go into your Coral Dragon and your Croco Dragon plays. Next up, yet again, standard for the most part. 3 Gorgeous Swordsman. It's another card I was considering maybe dimming down to 2. You sometimes can brick on this, but it's extra special summon from the graveyard. It's not once per turn, which is actually pretty cool. It's special summon from the hand effect is once per turn though. Oh, never mind. It is once per turn. My bad. So each of the following effects once per turn. Yeah, it says it midway. Because near the end, it makes it seem like it's not once per turn, but midway through the paragraph, yeah. So I mean, I might consider dimming it down to 2. It's still useful if I need to set a level 5 or higher when I deck to my graveyard for whatever I need it for. It's still good for like a cost. And yeah. Alright, so next up is the new ice barrier added in. Sorry for the glare. There's glare. Defender. if you can see that clearly. Yeah. So 2 defender. Um, good for a little bit of stall, really. If you have to stall, it just pretty much just stops your opponent from attacking. Pretty much anything that's higher than his defense on your opponent's field cannot attack. But as long as the only way this effect becomes viable is you have to control another ice barrier on the field, and usually you control one other monster. Usually most of the time, which is General. He's one of those monsters where he's going to be staying on the field majority of the time, and yeah, I mean, running him at any more than just the one will break you because he's not one of those ones where you can just summon him freely from your hand. You know, can't summon him freely, and I wish you could. Just off like his own effect, like his own effect would just let you summon him out, but it is what it is. Once enough, and if people don't know what he does, pretty much when he's on the field, in order for your opponent to activate and resolve, their monster effects, they would need to discard a card from their hand to resolve it. Otherwise, the effect's negated. Alright, so my last one of the deck for ice barriers is the Warlock, the other General, Gentelia or Gentella, whichever. He's another free summon from the graveyard when you get him out. You can summon him off of Mountain, your Synchro. Of course, Princess, Giant Trinade of the deck. Reveal 3 ice barriers or more. Pretty much any number. And you could literally return that same number from your opponent's field to their hand. Alright, next up is the non-ice barrier package of the deck. First up is going to be 2 of the Harpooner. Pretty much standard for the most part. Harpooner helps you get into your Bahamut Shark. I run a lot of cards like this because you want to see Bahamut Shark as quickly as possible right away, so you can get your Totally Awesome right away. And then you worry about your sticker plays later, if you can still do it within the same turn. Yet again, non-ice barrier engine, 2 Waterfall. I really like this card because this helps you get Mage out of your hand if you have Mage in the hand, and a lot of times I don't even use it for his summoning effect. I use it for like his deck thinning effect, which you drop him and 1 other water monster, and you can send 1 from deck to grave. So usually a lot of times what I like to do is I'll send him Mage, and I'll send a Speaker from deck to grave, and you get a search off Mage anyway, so which is actually pretty cool. And a lot of times too, with Mage, you might want to search your Gorgeous if you don't already have them in your hand, or you just search whatever you need for your combos. Pretty much, that's ice barrier related. That is. Sorry if I'm sniffing, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So next up is the 2 white Stingray. It's a new card that I found. I was searching through my cards for viable water monsters I can put in the deck. This is one of them. It's one of those discard special summon ones. Discard a water monster, special summon to your field, and then this is special summon from the graveyard. You can actually treat this card as a tuner monster if you bring it back from the grave, which still helps with synchro plays. And then, of course, yet again, you want to see Bahamut Shark as quickly as possible with this deck. Quickly as possible. As efficiently as possible, because usually a lot of times, if your opponent knows you're going for Bahamut, and they think that like, say for example, this is your only play, you discard one and bring him out. Okay, let me stop that so that he can't get into his Bahamut. Okay, well I have other stuff in my hand I could drop, and bring them out and still get into my Bahamut. Next up is the 3 Ice Jade Rain standard. That. Yep, still the standard 3. Drop 1, special summon itself, get a token, 3-star token, go into your level 9, get into your mountain. Card I've been waiting on for quite a bit. 3 Swap Frog. Makes your Totally Awesome even more viable than just getting Bahamut out. You guys can send a level 2 or lower from your deck to your graveyard when this card is special summon. So if you don't already have your mage in the graveyard, you can summon a mage. You can send a mage off of this. So say you have Speaker in hand, you send Speaker, drop your mage, bring him out. You can summon your sorry guys, whew. Allergies are acting up today, Jesus. You can summon out your Gorgeous, and when Gorgeous is summoned, you get a free Reborn, but that's only if you control another Ice Barrier. So you just have to figure out a way to get your second Ice Barrier out before you can bring him out, and then bring back your Mage, and then of course overlay for your Totally Awesome. And of course you guys should use your Totally Awesome effect for frogs and stuff. If you want to add in frogs in here for whatever you guys are trying to do. Alright, so next up is another card that I found online. I was just searching up cards that pretty much is a free summon. I don't remember if I included this in my last build, but if I did, then it's pretty much self-explanatory for the most part. It's just a free summon. So unless you control another water monster, special summon from your hand. Yet again, Bahamut. You want to see Bahamut as quickly as possible so you get into your Totally Awesome. So you can work your way around the bureau. That's usually the main out to this deck is Nibiru. So you definitely want to try to get into your Bahamut as quickly as possible. Of course, without going over 5 summons. I usually know that with Totally Awesome, if is your 5th summon, you don't have to worry about that. But you usually try to just get him out quicker, just not have to worry about it. Just so I have a peace of mind, so I can just play freely. I don't have to worry too much. Alright, so next up, I do run 2 of the Ice Monarch. Yet again, I do run a lot of monsters that can special summon themselves from the hand. Discard 1, special summon itself. So I really don't normal summon too much with this build. So I figure I just put in something that can just help me with my opponent's field, at least a little bit. Especially with spell and trap cards. So I found this, and I said, well, you know what? I'll put it in. 3 would be too much, 2 is just right. You just want to have more than one in the deck just for consistency in here, so you can see as often as you can, or pretty much when it's needed, really. And you tribute some of this guy out. You pop 2 spell and trap cards from the field, your opponent's field, and then yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. All right, last monster of the deck is going to be the barrier statue for water monsters. You don't want to see this at any more than just the 1. You can send him off of Waterfall. You can send it to the graveyard off Waterfall, and of course, when your combo is finished, you guys should bring it back off of Coral here, Anemone. to basically round off your combo. And even if you just go, okay, I have Bahamut, totally awesome. Have an extra monster in my no on my field. Let's say if you didn't use your normal summon, you normal summon this, link off Bahamut, and this. Bring out this. This since it's under 1500 attack, it's 1500 or less. You can just bring it back to the field. And of course, it's on that it points to, and then pretty much it just stops your opponent from being able to play the game pretty much. But yeah, that's the last monster of the deck, of the main deck. Spells of the deck, still standard. 3 medallion. Not really gonna explain much. It's just your free search, spell card search of the deck. Any ice barrier monster from deck to hand. Next up, I still do run the 2 magical triangle of the ice barrier. Reveal 3 with different names in your hand. Pop a card on your opponent's field. 1 card, any card, and then it lets you special summon a ice barrier from your hand. It's just actually pretty cool, especially going second. Good help, just good help. This can just help get your combo starters started. If you don't want a normal summon, you want to save your normal summon. This is a good card to use, especially going second. Next up, standard Foolish Berry Goods. Self-explanatory. New spell to deck. Moray agreed. I actually kind of want to run this at 3, but I can only find 2 online. Sorry about the glare, guys. I don't know why these sleeves are so glary. But literally what this does is you can shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand into the deck, and it lets you draw 3, which is actually pretty cool. So basically you trade 3 for 3, you neg 3, because you activate this. This would go to your graveyard, you send 2 back to the deck. So really you're trading 3 for 3, when you think about it. Definitely a way to unbrick your hand. Last spell of the deck, standard, is the Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. A free monster born of the deck for level 4 or lowers. And then, of course, if you control 3 or more Ice Barrier monsters on your field, monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects of your, yeah. Oh, the monsters were special summon from the extra deck. So if your opponent has any monsters that are special summoned from the extra deck, basically your Ice Barriers are protected with this. So. Alright, so next up is just going to be the traps. Yet again, standard 3 of the Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier for your Foolish Berry Goods. It also has a battle trap effect where if your opponent declares an attack, activate this, drop the attack to 0, and also negate the effect. Does not negate the attack, but makes your opponent think twice about attacking. And then on top of that, your opponent cannot change that monster's battle position, like, at all. And the negation and the the attack drop is permanent. Yep, it's permanent. Alright, last trap of the deck. What you call it? Sorry if there's too much glare. Which is the Ice Dragon's Prism. Pretty much what you do is, if your opponent controls another monster in their graveyard with the same type as monster on their field, you can bring back that monster to your field and then banish the one on your field and on their field as long as the types are the same. Non-target, by the way. The only time you target is when you're special summoning the monster from their grave. When you banish both monsters, it's non-target. Alright, getting into the extra deck, pretty much standard all the way through. There's only one change to the deck, and that's pretty much it. So, first up, uh, Coral Anemone. Pretty much standard. Helps you get your statue out when your combo's done. You can bring back Mirror Mage off of this if need be. So pretty much standard. No water link, and especially because a lot of the monsters in the main deck, when you do certain effects and you bring them out, it does lock you into water monsters for the extra deck. So that's why one of the main reasons why you're running this. I decided to run her at 2. I had her at 1. I believe I said in my last video that I was thinking about maybe running her at 2, and I did just that. I bumped her up to 2. 0. Pretty much your level 11 synchro the deck. You got your 2 mountain. And your 1 Trish, kind of like your Trishulia package / Ice Barrier package a little bit. He's not an Ice Barrier, which is kind of messed up. This helps you float down into this and this, if need be. Usually, at times when you float down into this, and this helps you float down into this. So, and of course, every time your opponent special summons a monster, or basically summons a monster. Basically, once per turn, each your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, except during dive step. Basically, you special summon one Ice Barrier from your deck, extra deck, or graveyard. Yep. Oh, and then you can change that monster to defense as well, the monster that they summoned. Which is pretty cool, right? So that's pretty badass. But that's just the Trishulia package, or mountain package. Other level 10s I run. Sorso Supreme. Servient. And the Ice Jade Gynair. Alright, so pretty much this basically protects itself by banishing other cards from your graveyard. And then he gains attack and defense. He gets 100 attack and defense for every card that is banished, that includes your opponent's banished. And then this guy basically says that when it's a quick effect when you activate his effect, and if you activate in response to your opponent's effect, you can banish that card that they used, and then any other targets that with the same name in their graveyard. So you just banish them all. And then when you activate the effect, protects your monsters from being destroyed by card effect or banished by card effect, which is pretty cool, right? And you just need one tuner, one Monarch tuner for both of these guys. Oh, except for this guy, you need a water tuner to be specific. So that's why he's pretty much in here, because a lot of times you get locked behind water monsters for the extra deck. Yeah, pretty much standard at this point. Standard, Alright, so next up is the Croco Dragon that you use in tandem with your Coral Dragon. Standard, it's a your draw 4 combo of the deck. Your hand gets low, you just replenish with this. You have 2, and then you synchro. Mirror Maze, synchro into this, synchro for 6. You banish your speaker off its own effect, and then it gives you an extra token. So synchro for 9. You bring him out. So when you bring him out, you summon him out to the field. We do Chain Link 1 and then Chain Link 2, because A lot of times you don't want your opponent to negate this. You don't care if they negate this because that's just one draw. But usually, at times, you want to go chain link 1, chain link 2, just so that you can maximize how many cards you're drawing. If you worry about, drawing Lockbird or something like that. Oh man, I think draw may actually stop this completely. But yeah, just if you're or Ash, you worry about getting ashed. Um, yeah, so Ash pretty much just the same thing as draw, I guess, in a way. But yeah, so basically, if you worry about it being negated for some reason, you get chain link 1, chain link 2, you just negate this, you at least draw 3. But usually, for the most part, most of the time, you draw 4 off that. And, what you call it? Draconet for your level 8. And your level 7, was it gun Gunganier? I do run some level 3s in here that are non-tuners, as you just see during the deck profile. They can make level 7s. Croco Dragon does pop cards by discarding, but he only pops 1 card when you discard 2. This one, you can discard up to 2, and basically targets the same number and destroy them. So this is actually a little bit better if you're trying to clear out more than 1 card. You get a little bit more bang for your buck off of this. So that's just me. I just wanted to have at least 1 level 7 in there. That's viable to use. And of course your Bahamut Shark, totally awesome package. Pretty much standard, nothing really crazy there. But like I said, most of the cards in this build helps you get into Bahamut Shark as quickly as possible, so you get your totally awesome, and then pretty much go into your other plays without having to worry. But with that said, guys, that's pretty much the deck profile. That's it. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background. That is my daughter having a bad day, apparently. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. You found it informative. Please, as always, leave a like. Leave a comment section in the comment section below what you thought of this build. If you're going to definitely use it, if you feel like it's been informative, it gives you a little bit certain tips of what to expect when you're running ice barriers. It's not mermails. I don't know if I'll do a mermail build at some point later, but at some point in the future, I will be opening the new Abyss pack here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, be sure to tell your family that you love them. Stay casual. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, please subscribe and share this video among family and friends. Alright, guys, peace out. Stay casual.